The single most important thing that a woman provides, her value to a man. There's a lot of things, but the number one at the top of the list that makes everything else irrelevant if she doesn't have this is her youth, her beauty, her ability to turn you on sexually. Nothing else matters. That is the foundation on which everything else is built. Does this mean that loyalty, respect, being interesting, not irritating you, adding value to your life, being feminine, submissive, non-combative, non-disagreeable, okay, being agreeable, don't matter? No, those all matter. Being a good mom, being loyal, having a connection, massively important also. But here's the thing. Having a male friend, let's make a comparison, having a male friendship, okay? In a male friendship, wouldn't it be great to have male friends that were charismatic and they could help you out with things? You probably mutual value. They were good at lead generation. You were good at sales, or they could help you with something. They're charismatic. They had good connections. You had a lot of common interests. You guys got along. That stuff would be very great in a male friendship. But the base of everything is he's got to be cute and hot. No. The base, no Diddy. The base of everything is loyalty and respect. As a man, as male to male friendships, none of that like, oh, he's a charismatic, fun guy to be around. And, I had my Instagram account banned and he has an insider that at Meta that can unban my account. And then I helped him because he needed an online dating virtual assistant. So I gave him my course for free and we had this mutual value and we help each other out. We have interesting conversations. That's all great. If there's not at the base of it all though, mutual respect and loyalty, none of that other stuff matters. I don't care if you got a connection at Meta, if you're going to backstab me and disrespect me later on, like that stuff matters. So this is what I call, okay, when screening for girls and stuff. Oh, by the way, another quick tangent before I talk about screening is this is why guys who date ugly girls are in cope. There is something about our DNA, the way that men, 99%, just virtually all men are wired, which is the following. And it's not very Disney fairy tale or fun to talk about, or what's the word? PC to talk about, but it's the following. It is hard, if not impossible, to feel the butterflies. You ever see a girl, you've just been so obsessed with a girl, you're thinking about her before you go to bed. You're not simping over her, but you just really, really like this girl. You think about her when you wake up, things like that. And you get butterflies when you're around her and you just want to protect her and take care of her. And, if another guy was to smack her ass or disrespect you, want to fucking kill that guy. Good luck feeling these romantic, loving, oh, I could just die for this girl. I just love her. I could just die for her. I just want to take care of her. She's my princess. I just love her so much. Good luck feeling that if it doesn't come with an extremely, extremely strong physical attraction. This is why I always say, don't cope, account for your standards and your taste. Don't be, bound by what society thinks, but also at the same time, don't cope. We all know, look, whether you like thick black girls or skinny white girls or Latinas that are super short, whatever you like, there's a blueprint of what a hot girl looks like, even outside of preferences. So don't cope, but to you got to get a girl that's your definition. And again, it will be mostly other guys, same definition, but so don't cope, but get what's to you a 7.5 or an 8, ideally. The reason why is this. Guys get tired of fucking 6s. And when you get tired of fucking your girl and you want that new and you can't even you're just not aroused, you're bored during the sex, you're thinking about other women or playing back, I don't know, porn in your head as you're fucking them, you're bored looking around the room, you're not present during sex anymore. It's just going to be really, really hard to have that deep love for them. Okay. We're men. We're superficial. It's not fun to talk about. It's not a great, PG thing, whatever. And then this is why guys you see I can't believe he calls himself the bad boy of the dating game. More like the scammer of the dating game, a guy named Mr. Lucario. He very seldomly likes to show receipts. We've done some digging and we'll put on the screen of Mr. Lucario's notes. By the way, I've debated this guy live. He's been able to put his 2 cents onto it. We've gone back and forth. I would never just do a hit piece on somebody without inviting them on my channel to defend themselves. I would never I never do hit pieces where I haven't had people speak their words. So I'll put the link for the full Mr. Lucario debate, if you want to call it that. But point being, I fuck hot girls. He fucks super ugly girls. He's in cope. And it's laughable. It would be like hiring Mr. Lucario to be your dating coach with fucking girls as ugly as he fucks would be like hiring a fat guy who can't even go up a flight of stairs, like skinny fat, like he's fat but has skinny arms, as your personal trainer. Like, you don't hire the skinny fat guy to be your personal trainer. You don't hire Mr. Lucario, who dates literal 2s and 3s, to be your dating coach. Now, aside from youth and beauty, that's the number one thing. That's why I always say, listen, we as men, you got to Luke's Max too. This is why, I'm growing my beard to make it kind of like, you see how I'm kind of like trying to, I don't know if like the lighting is showing, but I'm kind of trying to like grow it and shape it. Kind of looks like I have more of a jawline. I've done a hair transplant, veneers, teeth whitening is coming up. I do a skincare routine. I am not by any means like an impressive physical specimen or whatever, but I'm like at least trying my best. Like when I take my shirt off in front of women, they still, they grab my muscles and like bite my pecs and shit. I'm like, I think I'm just kind of a skinny, maybe slightly above average physique. I don't know. Girls like it, whatever. Do the best you can to kind of like, match that. But beyond that, you need like a really, really good strategy. I'm not going to get on a tangent. High status social media, meet women on Instagram, not dating apps, include, day game and cold approach into your strategy here, and have that as like your top priority criteria. Because the main thing you don't want, and I've talked about this before, with peons and normal relationships for like the normies, people I don't associate with, those relationships typically end because the girl has gotten fed up and tired with the guy. She wants to explore her hypergamous nature and do better than what she's got. But for people who are above average, either they're already full-blown certified fucking winners, or they're at least doing their best. They're on their journey. They're maxing ambitious in every area: finances, health, wealth, dating strategy, all this type of stuff. With those guys, it's usually that they get tired of the girl. If you're one of these more high status, more successful guys, you've noticed that when your relationships end, you're usually the one ending it, not the girl. Again, the majority of guys, the girl ends it, but with, probably it's a higher status, higher caliber person who's attracted to my videos and would be in my audience, right? So you probably relate. It's usually you ending the relationship. And like, to be honest, dude, like, that if you fuck a 6.5, you can fuck her a few times and you're tired of fucking her. And that when you have a truly beautiful girl that's an 8.5, that you don't get tired of fucking her. That's my main point. Don't get into relationships with girls that you're going to get tired of fucking. And I've said this before too. After 15 years of marriage, you've raised a family together. You met her when she's 25. She's 40-year-old now. She's 40. She doesn't look that good. Maybe it's a different type of love by then. But you don't want to that's like 15 years down the road, kids, family. I'm sure that there's a different type of love, that's not based on raw physical attraction. At least in the beginning, it's impossible to separate the two for men, maybe even long-term. This is why married men cheat all the time. This is why in Iranian culture, it's very normal to get what's called a child bride. When they say child, I think they mean, well, I don't know, ancient Iranians or like old school Iranian culture, they probably were actually children. But I think in modern times, when they say child bride, they don't necessarily mean child, but I think 18, 19, 20, like these guys it's very normal in Iranian culture to have a wife. You're 25, you marry her when she was 18, you raise kids with your first wife. Then when she's a little bit, I hate to say it, but let's be honest, she's old and used up, as some people might say. I would never say that, but when, some people might say she's a little bit old and used up at 40, she's sped out a couple of kids, doesn't look good anymore. The guy remarries and gets a younger bride for like the second phase of it. So he has a wife from 25 to 45, and then from 45 to the end of time, he has, his new bride. He switches them out. He like a tag team. Okay, tag you out, he trades in for a younger model. So I don't know. That is like a whole other, tangent. Not necessarily I agree with that. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'll see when I get there. I'm not knocking it or condoning it. Beyond that, the beauty thing, all the other stuff does matter. Low body count. She can't be disagreeable. She can't be irritating. She must have a high IQ, preferably, absolutely zero tattoos, or the most would be permissible, some tiny tattoo. Never been to Dubai, all these things. And that's pretty much all you need. A girl that's like, she turns you on so much that you can barely even fucking stand it. You're just so addicted to her. And she doesn't irritate you. She adds value to your life. She's feminine, she's agreeable, and she's really smart and has her own thoughts and opinions that actually contribute to a conversation. There's other things, right? I'm not doing an exhaustive list, but that's 90%. That's pretty much all of it. You just want a hot, cooperative, feminine, submissive girl that doesn't irritate you. And she's like smart, but she's got to be hot. None of that other stuff matters unless she's hot. And, to wrap up, like I'll say, I've said a million times, we watch this channel, you got to make this a top priority. You got to, whatever your strategy is, listen, if you don't want to hire me, if you want my help, that's fine. If you want to be a club promoter, if you want to get another dating coach to only focus on dating game, you don't like social media, you don't like the idea of building a super high status social media presence and getting an online dating virtual assistant to source girls for you and serve them on a platter, which is strategies that I do. If you don't like throwing events, other strategies that I like to do, that's fine. If you want to, I don't know what other strategies, again, like just, you want to just like do day game in New York City where there's a lot of foot traffic and just go straight for phone numbers, or be a like, I don't care, but there's so many few options. And for you to find a girl that has like everything, like the looks and the personality traits, it's getting harder and harder by the day. We're getting more masculine, more pay for play culture. More and more passport bros are blowing up cities. If you're thinking of going international, all these good cities for dating are going to dry up as passport bros give Americans a more and more negative stereotype, as gringos become less of like a they become commoditized. They're not special. They're not unique anymore. So make this a big priority, whether you want to learn from me or somebody else. And, speaking of learning from me and getting my help, my contact information is in the description of this video. If you're wondering how a very average guy dates so many extremely above average women, holler at me. Otherwise, just subscribe for more free game and entertaining rants. Peace out, boys.